Good evening. Tonight we will address a powerful topic about the interconnections between health and wealth. Tonight our guests Matthew Dubrick and Christopher Dedeyan. Good evening. Nice to see you. So you create this, of course not the Armenian version, but this book, this is a powerful guide how investing in your health will become an investment to your wealth. So could you please explain how it works? I mean, how? Because it's investment or it's a waste of money?
So there definitely is a direct correlation between the health and workout sports world and your business. And these are things that potentially some people might not realize in the forefront, but when you work out, when you do certain athleticism, it's actually developing a lot of parts that you could utilize in business, such as when you work out, your brain starts growing, your hippocampus more specifically, which helps you being more creative, being more efficient. When you do sports, you're able to analyze certain aspects, and that happens subconsciously. So when you take those examples and experiences in sports, then you put them in business, then you're gonna be able to succeed so much more in the business world. What are some more examples about this subject?
The ideology of a book is that you can utilize sports to make some learning at a cheaper cost than in your business. Like in your business, for example, if you're in a new leadership position, if you make mistakes, it's going to be costly. It could cost you your job, it could cost you your customer, where you could learn and train these skills in sports first.
Could you provide some examples of people that everyone knows? I mean, Steve Jobs or someone else, so how it works?
Okay, let's talk about some people that are known. Let's talk about the former president of the United States, Barack Obama. Him with a very busy schedule, and that's saying it very likely. Anybody that's in a position of that significance, power, has a tight schedule. He always took time to go out for a run. So if somebody to that stature sees not only the value, but the importance of it, so then he could succeed for the rest of the day, that's one example. You mentioned some CEOs, right? Let's take the example of Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. He took so much importance in working out that we've seen his evolution from when he started Amazon to now, how he looks physically and how he's able to hold his stature and how that helps him out with the business. Do you have some other examples that we could mention on that end?
Well, actually, I'd like to talk about what we do in the book. It's very cool to talk about examples of other people, and it gives you the motivation. But as soon as you start the book, we'll make you experience that with only a very, very short workouts, 4 minutes, and then you're gonna ritually like do it every day or 4 times like in your first week, and then you're gonna record the changes for you. Because I think that's what's the most important, is what are the changes that you can bring to your business and your life.
So the main argument is that if you invest in your health, in some physical exercises, it means that you invest in your wealth in the future, right?
Yes.
So, and you found out the direct interconnectedness between these, and what I'm trying to understand. So, for example, I work in 4 different places. When should I do that? I mean, and why should I do that?
So, should you do it? Yes. When? It's going to depend. For some people, like for Chris here, for example, I know that he needs a time in his schedule. It's always going to be in the same moment. 6 a.m., he's going to show up to the gym. Now, that can be a challenge for some people like you, that if you're in 4 places, your schedule is going to change, and it'd be very easy to skip that 6 a.m. So maybe for you, it could be before you take your shower. Maybe for you, it could be when you wake up.
Because my schedule, my personal schedule is like a sport. It's sport, you know, because I go through around the city all day long. So, but if I can do this in the morning, it will help me to become more effective during the day?
100%, because here's the thing, if you do have a busy schedule, you have to make time for it. And we have a certain concept that we do mention in the book, because after every single chapter, there's a mindset challenge and a physical challenge.
Yeah.
We don't want only the readers to read and learn, but we take their hand and we show them the process of how to do it, and then they can monitor their success. One of the examples that we give is a workout called Tabata, which is the concept of doing a movement for 20 seconds on and then taking 10 seconds off and repeating it for a total of 4 minutes. So if you're telling me you have a busy schedule, I'm sure that you have 4 minutes that you can spare in your day. And honestly, if you do not have 4 minutes in your day, that means you don't have a life. So we'll talk about that in a different way. So one example with Matt saying, hey, you could do it before your shower. Take 4 minutes before jumping in the shower when you wake up. Do a quick workout. That could be as simple as doing push-ups, doing squats, doing jumping jacks. And then you jump in the shower and then you start your day. So now your brain is associating things differently. You're activating your blood flow a lot better. You're gonna be so much more creative and you're gonna be more efficient throughout the day instead of finding the peaks, instead of being a bit more wheezy in the ways that you go about things throughout the day.
That's great. So let's back to the starting point. You guys, you have totally different backgrounds.
Yes.
Where did you find each other?
We found each other at the gym. So I've been the owner of a gym for 17 years now, and Chris was a member of a gym in the 6 a.m. class. And the 6 a.m. class is entrepreneurs, CEOs, all peak performance individuals that make some time in their day. So usually they're very busy. So usually my interaction with Chris was, I'm giving him a class and then he leaves, like, have a good day, boom. Sometimes even 2 minutes early because he has an appointment.
Meeting. Yeah.
And then one day he had an extra 30 minutes. I think his barber shop appointment was canceled or something like this, but something got canceled. And then he stayed at the gym for 30 minutes and we started talking. And I was surprised to know that Chris had pivoted his career from real estate to peak performance coaching, and that intrigued me. I asked a few more questions, and he knows me only as the coach, wearing, a t-shirts and shorts, and he was surprised that I was sharing that at the moment I was reading a lot and summarizing books. And so at one point, almost as a joke, I threw like, hey, we should write a book together. And Chris being Chris.
I wanted to ask, where the idea come from? Why to create this? For
right.
what?
Well, and so what happened is when I said that, and I kind of threw it in the air, like sometime, oh yeah, come visit me, right? And you're not sure if a person's going to do it. Within 5 minutes in my email, I had a schedule, right? Like, we're going to meet for 30 minutes tomorrow at this time. And at first we're like, is there something to write about? Yeah. So that was our first brainstorm. And we realized that I've always done sports, and I consider myself an athlete. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm successful in business. I have multiple companies. And Chris considers himself a businessman, mm-hmm. right? But at the same time, in the world of CrossFit, every year when he competes in ReOpen, he's in the top 10%, of the world, so of fit people. So he's also an athlete. So we realized, oh, wait a minute. We both identify ourselves as two different beings and in two different fields, but our fields actually connect.
Yes.
And that interconnection, he stays at the gym, it's his gym, so he could do many workouts throughout the day. I don't have that chance because of my schedule, just like you. But 1 hour per day is sacred for me and him. So then I realized that wasn't not only important, but necessary. Because I'm a professional speaker and peak performance coach, I have the chance to coach top-tier CEOs, C-suite execs, top-tier entrepreneurs around the world. And every single time they want to be more efficient, I tell them to start with their body. And their body is by working out, by moving. Once that's fixed, then I could fix the mindset, then I could fix the spirituality, and then everything else comes. The finances, the success, the family life, and beyond.
That's great. Let's talk about your experience here.
Yes.
You are in Armenia to present the translation of your book. It's Մարզվիր and հաջողիր. Մարզվիր եւ հաջողիր. Play for profit. Մարզվիր and հաջողիր. It's a great translation. So what's about your experience here, your book tour? What did you do?
So first of all, we're extremely honored and blessed that we have great collaborators like New Mag Publishing that we connected with last time I was here and saw that our ideologies and business was so intertwined, and they do such an amazing work in regards to taking books, translating it in Armenian for Armenian people. So I actually just moved to Armenia. And one of the reasons, main one is honestly, I'm God-fearing and God is pulling me here, but I want to help Armenia in my way. And that's small as just me living here, having an apartment here, buying food here. But at the same time, I want to teach my ideologies to anyone that wants to learn it.
Yes, and to help mentally also.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we already had this book. It's been 5 years we're writing it. Uh-huh. It was a perfect marriage to translate in Armenian, offer to our Armenian people, and once again, with the blessings of New Mag as well.
What's the target audience, do you think, here in Armenia? Because in Canada, it's different.
So let me actually speak to this if you permit here. The target audience is anybody that is in the startup world, that is starting a new business, or that's in the age group, to be quite honest, anywhere between in their early 20s to mid 40s. Why? Because those are the ages that is the most busy time. You're starting a new business, you're starting a family, you're having kids, you don't have time.
The most effective time, yeah.
That's what it is. So that's when the time, those people usually push away certain things because they say, oh, I don't have time to do this. But we're actually defining in this book, not only you should take the time, it's gonna give you more time, but you're gonna be more efficient with everything else. So that's the niche that we're going for. Furthermore, in the Armenian community, we know that it's been a rough couple of years for us with certain situations that happened politically with the lands that we lost. There's a lot of biases that have been created and PTSD, to be quite honest. One of the best ways to get over PTSD or to deal with our stress and anxiety is by working out. And these are things that I teach to my top tier clients. I've noticed every single person goes through stress in life. There isn't one single person. They all call it differently. Some people are like, oh my God, I have anxiety, I'm stressed, I'm nervous, and this, that, and the other. But everyone goes through it. So by understanding your body, you're able to step out of that stress in high levels. So these are the people that we're aiming for in Armenia, and that's why we believe that it is perfectly positioned for anybody that's dealing with certain levels of stress with all of our history and what's been going on in Armenia.
That's great. And what's next? Do you have idea to write another book or to do something?
We have a lot of ideas that we won't mention necessarily all of them here, but me and Matt are pure entrepreneurs. He said he's an athlete, but he's a great businessman. I am a great businessman with an athlete background. And if you are an entrepreneur, what we do is we find problems, right? And then we try to find a solution. That's what entrepreneurship is. So we look at opportunities like that. There's great things that we're seeing with the burgeoning democracy of Armenia, the Armenian people, how they are. I do believe that this is the first step. With God's grace, this is gonna go great. We're gonna develop it. And then what comes out of that, we're not close to any opportunities that comes from it.
That's great. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
And have a good time in Armenia, and we'll wait for your new creations. Okay?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.